All right, here we are. Hi, Cely. We did it. For those of you that are joining us now, we are terribly sorry for being a few minutes late. We had some technical difficulties, but Cely figured it out for us and we are here. So, welcome, Cely Castillo. I'm so excited to do this cafecito for you. Thank you for your patience with all the crazy technology issues we were having there, but you handled that brilliantly, like you handle most things, my dear, and that I know about you. So I'm so excited. Welcome to United Latinas Cafecito. This is amazing to have you here. I know everyone that's going to be listening and participating will get a lot from this conversation. I know I will. Let's just start super simple. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, what you do, and then we'll get into some more interesting questions.
Absolutely. Thank you, Karina, for this opportunity. And I'm going to say that this is the beauty of working in financial services. There are so many firewalls that we need to get through to make it happen. But I guess that's good. That's reassuring for people that have their money with us.
It's a solid
The-
point.
Yeah. But yeah, just really quick, Vice President of Multicultural Recruiting and Relationship Management for Hilltop Security, public company. Ticker is HTH. And we are a corporation that also has a bank, an investment banking, and prime lending. People don't know this about us, but we are the number one in down payment assistance in the nation. We just do it through our partners. So that's why many people don't hear about us. But that's one of my initiatives is to bring more of that awareness to the Latino community and connect intentionally. So yeah.
Okay, big title, super interesting and exciting. Tell us a little bit, define that title for the rest of us
Good
not in
point. Good
corporate
point.
America, Sally. Tell us a little bit of what that title means, which is a very impressive title, by the way.
Things I tell you, it was really interesting situation where there wasn't a title for me in the company. So they created it for me. The
Mhm.
idea behind it was to incorporate a little bit of the talent acquisition so that the recruiter portion of it and the relationship manager is more of the community liaison and the multicultural markets. Pretty much our CEO had the idea that we needed to do more, being more intentional, connecting with the community. And that's how it all started. I worked with the Latinos for over a decade, and word got out. And that's how now I'm here at Hilltop.
I love that. So let's go into some of these great questions. How do you describe your leadership journey in one sentence?
Mm, I'm gonna say purpose driven, just like the title.
I love
And yes, absolutely. That's in my journey, I had many situations where I had to be redirected, not by choice. I been in corporate and I was honestly chasing the titles and chasing the money, but my heart was never there. And I'm Christian, so I always felt that God was always redirecting me to my true purpose. And now I have the opportunity to where they merge, and I can be in wealth management, but I can be more intentional and more around financial education and bringing all these resources to the Latino community. So yeah.
I love that. But can we go back a step and talk a little bit about Sally and your journey? So your career journey a little bit to got you to this amazing job and this purpose-driven job, which is incredible. But there must have been a lot of other stops along the way. Can you talk a little bit about maybe your background, how you grew up, where you come from, all that led you to want to do a purpose driven journey.
Yes. So I come from a multi generational family of owners. That's what my family knows. That's what they've been doing. And I grew up going with my dad to the bank. And this is back in my home country, El Salvador.
Nice.
And yes, and I just loved that. And I wanted to be more of the other portion of things and wanted to be the fancy banker, to be honest, with the beautiful wooden desk and the tall lamp. At that time in life, life took a turn and I had to moved to the US, just as many of us. In my case, was for safety, and I had no connections. I didn't know anyone. Uh, it was one of those that I got unrooted violently, I'll say. So I started helping my dad with establishing a new business and pretty much starting from scratch. And that's when I realized, this is over 20 years ago, that there were many resources, or if this is, before internet was so accessible as it
Yeah.
is now. And I had to just build my own resources in a way. Uh, Fast forward, I had the opportunity to start working for a bank, one of the largest banks here in the US. And I was assigned to work in the South Texas market, so very heavy Latino. And it was just beautiful because I could connect with them. I could see obviously everything about it, like how hard worker we are, but also the part of the lack of access, or not necessarily access, but the ability to filter information. So I dedicated myself to educate around access to capital, around wealth management, and that propelled me to what I do now. In between all that, I have many um, I guess, tracks.
Hustles.
Yeah, no, like tracks where I wanted to be a financial advisor. I wanted to be a private banker. I was like pursuing different things, and every time I kept being redirected, I got the jobs, and then they will be, for sake of time, I won't get in the whole story, but they were taken away from me because it wasn't even like I got fired. It was life situations, and everything kept redirecting me to work with our community and to work in wealth management. So it's just been an exciting journey and beautiful at the same time.
Oh my gosh, I love that story. And I love that story of resilience and perseverance on your part, Cely, which is so incredible, right? Like you came from a difficult situation. I assume you landed in Dallas. Was that the first place you guys landed? Yeah.
Yes,
And then just that constant, like, I can do this. And okay, so maybe the job doesn't exist anymore. I'm going to keep persevering. I'm going to keep being resilient. I love that. That is shows that your inner power and strength. But then related to my question, because I think it's directly related, how does your cultural identity influence the way you lead and the way you show up? So I think that your cultural identity has a direct relationship to your resilience and perseverance. Would you say that?
absolutely. Yes. And I think that is the main portion of it, that I'm a little bit of a contrarian when it comes to to life. And I think what feeds my fire the most is when I told no, or when I told
Oh,
yeah. And to me it's oh, no, okay, you mean not yet. So I even remember when I started learning about investing when I was an entry level banker, and the financial advisor sat with me and said, let's look at your financial picture so you can prepare for the future. And she said, and of course, entry level banker, no savings, no assets. And she was awesome because she gave me a reality. um, she put me back to reality and said, Cely, you're just going to have to work forever. So
okay.
But you know what? That sparked the contrarians. I know I'm gonna prove you wrong. Curiosity too, because okay, there's definitely has to be an avenue, a way, and that has been something that has always been in me. I'm gonna say, culturally speaking, I come from a resilient country too. We had a
Yeah.
civil war for, I mean, since the moment I was born until 1992. So I remember running away from, getting personal now, but hearing bullets, as I'm at the park and people hiding and being very protective of even our thoughts, because you didn't know who you were talking to, if it was from this side or the other. So I think through life, it's been a unfortunate situation. I know many can relate to that. But we learned survival skills really soon in life. And I think the ability to move those skills in the corporate world has really, really helped me.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, especially in the world of finance. So sometimes there's a lot of bobbing and weaving in finance. So good for you. The markets go up, the markets go down. People come at you, be like, "What's going on with my portfolio?" So there's a lot of pressure and stress around being a wealth manager, a banker, that whole world. But thank you for your honesty and your openness. I'm sure that there are participants listening to this that can relate to that, to their country being in a civil war, to the difficulty of what that means to be protective of your words, to live in a bit of fear. I think there's a lot of that that's run throughout South America, and I think that's definitely a factor that people could relate to that are listening to this. And so my next question: what is the moment you realized your identity was something to leverage and not just be managed? So again, back to your roots and your resilience and your perseverance and being this powerhouse Latina. At what point did you realize, wow, I can be a powerhouse Latina and I don't need to be managed?
Yes, it really happened. I think it was, I started in banking, and banking is very black and white. There's no gray area in that. And me being a little bit, I mentioned a little bit of contrarian, a little bit of a challenging the status quo. I always had to, if somebody would tell me that's not in the policy, it will be okay, show me. And I want to read that policy. And I will realize that many times people were just getting comfortable and they were just going by what somebody else said. I don't know if that's a personal trait. I think partially is, but I think we Latinas are like that. We are very much into somebody tells us something, is like, okay, tell me, I'm probably ahead of you already, but tell me. It's just something in us. And
Right.
they were, it was something really interesting that I kept challenging many things all the time, obviously very politely, very professional.
Of
Um,
course.
but I think that helped me a lot, because I realized that just working in corporate period can be really exhausting. And
Yes.
that's not our life. There's definitely life beyond it. But in my case, I was the one wanted to get my Latino business owner to secure that loan, or I was the person that I knew this person had worked so hard and they were ready to open an investment account, but maybe their immigration status was not ideal. And people at work who say, just take the easy way out, the easy way out, and not help. But to me, it was always like, I'm sure that there's a way. I'm sure that this company cares and it's fair. And that's how will find avenues that were ethical and professional, and help and get those accounts open, get those loans approved. So I think it was just pretty much that passion of I need to help mi gente, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I love that, and it relates to our title, right? Like it's the purpose driven. It's mi
Yes.
gente. It's my people. It's people I can relate to. People that are immigrants. People that crossed a border, especially in a place like Texas, right? There's a lot
Hmm.
of that, and so I love that you lead with your heart and you lead with passion and you lead with opportunity too, Sally. Like you see
Yes.
the opportunity and you're like, how am I going to get you to accomplish this? Because people helped me get to accomplish this. So I love that sort of passing it forward that you do. And with that, um, if there's some professionals listening to this and maybe they're a little bit younger than you and I, and they still feel that need to assimilate or to not be their authentic selves, what's a piece of advice you could give them?
I will say that, and I'm going to quote Antonio Tijerino, which is the president and CEO of a Hispanic Heritage Foundation. He said, "You're not lucky to be here. The world needs your perspective, and they are lucky to have you." So we got to remember that that's the beautiful thing about this country is that it's made of immigrants. It's made of a lot of different people. If you want to go and see the data, there are amazing organizations like the Hispanic Star, for instance, Latino Donor Collaborative, that shows the data and you see that we are no longer a minority. We are a powerhouse engine. So those perspectives are needed. Perspectives are important, and you don't have to lose yourself as you go through it. There are some things that are gonna stay permanent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe incorporate. There's the way you dress. Feel like I'm more creative. If I could have pink hair, I would. But, but I learned that that is not the uniform. So there are
Maybe
things
not in
that
bike.
at least not yet. Things could change, but
True.
for now is okay as those things, but that doesn't mean you're changing your identity. That's do not put yourself in that box. Yeah, you have to wear a uniform, but you're still presenting your authentic self every day. Don't let your accent scare you. I know I have a
Mm.
really heavy accent, and tr- I honestly haven't even tried to change it. My point is always, do you understand what I say? Oh yeah, okay, good. That's all we need. I'll say
Oh.
that it's about owning it and not feel like we're under. We're also not over. We're just equals, and we need to found that place and own it. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I also come from a mother that had a very heavy accent, and she never let go of her accent, and she was incredibly proud of her accent. And we would walk around New York, and people would say, "Where are you from?" And she would say, "New York." But she would say it like this. She'd be like, "I'm from New York." And people would be like, "But what?" And she's like, "Why are you asking me?" And for her, she was like, I live in the United States. I work in the United States. I have worked here for years. This is my home. Stop asking me where I'm from because you hear an accent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I love what you said about listen to what I'm saying because if you can understand me, the power is in my voice of what I'm saying.
Yes, absolutely. And I know that I think I am very smart in both languages. I'm a huge book reader and I know so many words in English. I just don't know how to pronounce them sometimes because I'm reading them, not listening, and my surrounding people are not using those words. And I'm gonna say maybe it sounds a little like self-servicing myself, but I think it's a technique that I use to build that confidence. Is that somebody tells me they don't understand what I'm saying or that my accent is too heavy? I think in my head, wait, you haven't even heard me speaking English with all those amazing words that I know. I'm a walking thesaurus. So I, I don't know. Something that I just
Silly,
tell
no,
myself.
no. That's amazing. And I was going to ask you, but I was going to go into where do you find this beautiful confidence and this sort of like authentic self and your own your voice and your confidence. And I love that about you. That is so powerful.
Thank you.
It's no, seriously, because I think that sometimes we forget, both as women, as Latinas, and especially in your world of banking and finance and private wealth, sometimes nos achicamos, we make ourselves smaller because
Yes.
of who's around us. And you, my dear, are not making yourself small. And I think you're a beautiful example for everyone listening to us. Like, don't make yourself smaller. Find your
Mhm.
voice, own your authentic self, and put
Yes.
yourself out there. Of course, in a polite, respectful, etiquette manner, but put yourself out there and don't be afraid to be who you are.
Absolutely. And you just said a key word. We made ourselves smaller. So what does that mean? That we're not small.
Right.
So are we making ourselves fit in? Like, are we grandiose, amazing individuals that we had to conform? That should be right there, the source of confidence by itself.
Absolutely. And I know why you have other questions, but you and I, before this call, talked about how you got to this position and the opportunity you saw, Cely. And I think your story is so inspiring and so powerful for all of us. Can you tell our participants what you told me about how you saw an opportunity, you put together the presentation, you pitched it the way you pitched it, that whole story? Can you take me through that journey and that process that you did? Because I think I learned a lot just in the conversation with you about it. And I think people listening to this would learn a lot too.
Thank you. And I guess this ties back to my accent. And sometimes my head has more words, more thoughts. I feel sometimes like I'm a train without brakes. And I need to find a way to channel things. And not because they're bad or my energy or my passion or all of that, it's bad. It's just that because of the same reason, I cannot convey the message as I wanted to. So I discover a way to make myself a little more efficient, organize my brain, and convey the message. I think I'm a little bit of the PowerPoint queen because all my presentations, if I cannot say too much, then I feel like a picture or two will kind of, picture sometimes speaks more than 1,000 words. So my presentations get to be very um, vivid in color in pictures. So that way it's like, okay, that's saying many things I want to say right now, which I can't. And that's a corporate world, especially at executive level. You don't want to go and be like I am right now. I will lose them. That's the truth.
Right.
And that's how it is. And this is beyond, it's culture. It has nothing to do with Latinidad or anything like that. It's just the culture. But I think me being Latina, it just adds another layer of complexity and passion. So I have 5 steps that I use to pitch myself and to be effective. One of them is even before I speak, I clarify my value. And that means in many
Oh, I
ways.
love that.
It's from the moment you're standing, do not look down, and there's so many experts and talks about what body language is, the way you present yourself, right? So that's the first thing, builds your confidence. And even if you don't feel confident, your brain, when it connects to the body and the body is in that position of confidence, now the brain is thinking, oh, I guess we're supposed to be confident here. So it's magical. So that's step
Yeah.
one. Then Step two is I anchor my pitch with impact and not tasks. Especially again, when you are at high levels, uh, your executives, your leaders, they don't want to know how you got there. That can be in a report for later. They want to know the impact that that's going to bring. So that's something that's very important. It's not about, I did this, I did that, I'm going to do that. There's no time for that. So anchor your pitch for the impact portion. And of course, you're going to have a plan behind it, right? Just don't come and offer heaven and earth and can
Right.
deliver. So,
Right.
and the third part is own your voice with confidence. Do you hear? I didn't say learn the
Oh
here in
no,
the
go ahead.
US. I took some classes to get myself up to speed, but I did not know the technical words. I did not know many things. And you will think, oh my goodness, when I hear other people, and they sound so prepared because they know the corporate language. They know that let's circle back, let us part this here. And all that. And I maybe I do know it in a version of my language, in Spanish. But let's we can overcome that by knowing that it's about your voice with confidence. It's not about the technicality of things. At the end of the day, the message is being delivered, and that's what really matters. Nobody's gonna think, did she spoke all the corporate lingo? No, they're gonna ask what she said makes sense. What she said brings is delivering. Is it gonna make an impact? That's what people live with, not those fancy words. um, of course, tailor the pitch to the room. Back
Mm-hmm.
again, if you're talking to executives, you want to keep it brief, you want to keep it to the point. If I tell you, even here, I think that is just me. Uh, I love K-pop. Fun fact.
I actually saw K-pop in Fort Worth.
Yes.
I got
So
dragged by my niece. I can't say it was all measly, but I did go see one of those bands. Hilarious.
awesome. Awesome. And we have a meeting where we get to have a song every time. And I propose a K-pop because it's just me being me. And I have the blessing to have amazing coworkers, partners, and leaders. And they said, Cely, read the room. and, and I was like, "You're right. You're right. This is not the right audience." And it's just one of those. But I'm still not hiding who I am. It's just that sometimes you just need to know what the spaces are and read the room and just make sure that you're projecting that. And the last thing is you close with curiosity or direction. So. Um, is always willing to learn, always willing to get feedback, as passionate as you are. Stay open to listen to all what the feedback says. And the last part is that, or the main thing is that PowerPoint or that one document. Have it all in there because, especially executive level, they go, it's called scanning for information. They go and read the page, get all the high points, and they already are already at your level. Believe me, you don't have to say too much to the message to be conveyed. So get those lines, those high talking points in place. It helps a lot. And then once that's read, questions start flowing from leadership. And once the questions start flowing, then you can be yourself and share your passion and paint an amazing event like the brunch that we're hosting next week with United Latinas. and and tell your boss it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be so cute because it's gonna be all amazing women.
I don't know if cute. Maybe not cute, Maybe not cute, Sally. Maybe we don't want to be known as cute Latina women.
No,
I think we
no,
got enough of being known as cute. Maybe
absolutely.
brilliant, powerful voices, owning, maybe a bit of that.
No.
And we're running out of time, which always frustrates me because I could talk to you forever, and everybody that I invite as a guest, I could talk to forever, which I feel so privileged and honored that Iliana and Sandra let me host these. But can we go back for a second to purpose driven and leadership? Because I love what you just said. And someone, Christina T, made a great point about she loves the focus on value and practical advice on how to integrate corporate culture with skills and integrate with your own culture. Just tell quickly the participants a story about how you saw the opportunity and you created this opportunity and this job for yourself, and you went to leadership and you were like, I can do this, and you owned that space because you were driven by purpose, right?
Yes. So real quick, it all started back when I worked at my previous job. I'm a licensed banker, or I was. I'm still licensed, but at that time, I was a banker. So they wanted me to work more on banking than investments. And to me, it didn't make sense because I realized so many amazing business owners that wanted to invest, that wanted to learn more about it. That propelled me into just going on my own and help just because I'm passionate about it. I wasn't making a penny out of that. But I just loved it. Long story short, I was pitched by a local bank and they wanted to work with me. They heard what I'm doing in the community, how involved I was in the community just because I just love it. And they offered me a position for VP for this area. The day of the that I accepted that offer, I received a phone call, and it was a connection here. You're gonna have to send me a DM on LinkedIn if we want me to give all the details, because I'm gonna get to the point for the people listening. But a very close connection here asked me, "Hey, did you accept the job at this bank?" I was like, "I did today." I was like, "Oh, I'm here with the CEO." And I told, no, actually, he's just like, send me your offer letter because I need to tell you something. Long story short, the CEO wanted to know how to connect with the Latino community. He had a few ideas. This individual, this professional connection, familiar connection, said, Cely, she's been doing it forever. She actually just accepted an offer with another institution. Um, she has the right idea. You need to talk to her. That fast forward to me connected. I even offered to just to give a playbook because I had already gotten
Oh,
the other job. And they were like, no, we want you here. We want you here. We want, it's not just the strategy, it's also the personality, it's also the individual and what you bring to the table. And now I'm here creating the frameworks, the platform, and everything that has to do with bringing more of the wealth management conversation into right now North Texas, but eventually nationwide. We're located all over the U.S., so looking forward to continue growing and bringing that to everybody. But again, this is me just not really. I think just minimizes because it was a lot of hard work. This was me working in the community relentlessly because I believed in it as a side job while bringing up two daughters and a husband and being all the other roles that we fulfill. I just knew that there's more out there for us, and that paid off because I guess in some circles I became famous.
oh my, Sally, I love everything about that story. Like everything down to something that we all talk about and is so important, the difference between a sponsor and a mentor. And
Hmm.
that colleague, familiar colleague, sponsored you and said, this isn't just getting Sally or her playbook. Like, this is the person you want. And they sponsored you and they uplifted you, right? And they said, this is who you want. But that's a tribute to you leading with your passion and your purpose and seeing the opportunity. And I love all of that. And I hope that everyone listening to us understands the power of that, of having people sponsor you versus mentor, and also continuing to be resilient and perseverant and believe in your passion and your purpose, and ending up where you are, where you do have some power now, some autonomy, to support our community, which I think is beautiful. So congratulations and thank you for all the work you do and your belief. We are going to have to go, but so Cely, if people want to continue the conversation, if they want to find you, where can they find you?
Cely Castillo on LinkedIn.
Okay.
I can just, I guess, send my LinkedIn on the chat or something.
No,
But
they can find you on LinkedIn.
yeah,
That's fine.
I'm sure you'll find me. It's me. Hilltop Securities will be all over my page because I'm very passionate about the company and the what we're bringing to the community as a whole. Yeah, Cely Castillo. Just like
Amazing. And for those of the United Latinas in Texas, in Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, all over Texas. I know I'm missing it. El Paso, everywhere. Cely's doing a great event on May 7th. There's going to be a breakfast for United Latinas. If you want more information, reach out to us. Everybody listening to this, thank you so much for participating with us. Cely, thank you for taking the time to do this with me today, and all your amazing inspiring nuggets and tidbits and tools and information. Really grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you.